选手上面，或者说就是通过这2天的观察，感觉谁会比较亮眼
的？应该是妖精吧。
VG
这边的话，妖精
整体好像都不错。
和这个皮靴羊，它的那个发条计时非常的亮，对线期的话是自己死一次，杀了对方大哥和酱油分别一次。
才1对2嘛，在
对，然后在这个中期的技能释放，还有一次极限逃生，对吧？他的个人发挥状态来说还是很不错。妖精的话是一直很稳定啊，不太会有什么失误，这个其实是很难得的。对于一位年纪很轻的选手，
我们萧敬腾回来了，还是就真的是表情没有变过，
面无表情 ，poker face 啊！你看这个羊就有说有笑的，对吧？一看就是一个萌萌哒的选手。
我觉得就是在一个战队里面，一定要有不同性格的选手。
对，是的，你不能大家都不说话。
其实很多职业选手，因为他们出来的年龄比较小，其实生活能力都还比较差的，所以挺需要一个教练这样的角色，能够帮他们。就我
平衡一下，
不是指这个
年龄是吧？
对，战神期就是很多战队会配一个类似于生活保姆这样的角色，就可能会保证
是选手当中吗？应该不是吧？
应该不是。就是类似于领队吧，领队可能更多的承担起这种生活保姆的角色。
其实仔细想想，VG 战队还真的是就是这支 VG 战队，之前的 VGR 战队嘛，他们成绩最好的一次就是教练顶替当时他们的中单去参加那个另外一个这个国际比赛，当时他们成绩非常好，而且给人感觉其乐融融。
上场已经不是1次2次，
是
感觉这支队伍这样的配置其实能拿到好成绩是有道理的。对吧？虽然你说教练年纪大了，30岁，可能在一些反应上或者微操作方面不如一些年轻选手那么细腻，但是他的价值不是大家看到的这么一点点，可能有更多的价值是我们看不到的。比如现场出现了什么状况，他自己其实采访的时候也说到了，就是把自己的这么多年打职业的经历去跟大家分享，因为他其实打 DOTA 之前是一位 CS 的职业选手，他其实见到的这个事情场面什么其实太多了，
游戏天赋还是蛮强的。
是，那我觉得这个改变还是挺大的。
对，
不是一个类型的嘛，主要是。还是能够熟练的去掌握。其实我觉得，就是对于一支实力战队来讲的话，可能他在就是比赛当中或者是在训练过程的一个状态是一部分。那其实，在平时，我觉得这个团队的凝聚力也特别的重要。
是的，
因为这个其实可能有时候会影响到我们选手在比赛当中的一个发挥。因为大家如果都是一条心，然后就是凝聚力很强、向心力很强的话，我觉得
就不会甩锅和摁显示器进。摁头进显示器这种事情发生了。
对，其实这个队伍，据我了解一下，我仔细分析一下4名队员的性格，真的需要一个教练这样的人站出来，关键时候能说话。
为什么4人什么性格？
因为你看，我跟你说啊，分析一下，就是1号位妖精，他属于一个闷骚型的，对吧？他比赛的时候可能打得特别顺的时候会很骚或者怎么样，对，会大声喊。但是如果打得不顺的话，他可能会闷不作声，对，闷不作声。啊，
会哭吗？
啊，那不会，那不会。这他们见过的场面还是蛮多的，应该不会哭的。然后这个3号位的话，杨是一个比较萌的选手，但是他也不是这种，就是说关键时候就站出来说我们要怎么干怎么干怎么干，他可能没有这个气场。
喊口号的这种。
对，因为他其实是队伍里面来的比较晚的一位选手，他可能话语权也
没有掌握在自己手里，
没有掌握在自己手里，
不太敢。
是的。然后4号位 FI 的话是一个具有领袖气质的一位选手，
非常冷酷的选手，
对，非常冷酷的选手。但是呢，他也是属于那种格调比较高冷型的，他也不是那种全程指挥很嗨的那种人。那 DDC 呢，就更是一个闷骚的代表人物了。他也是那种你让我干嘛我就干嘛，他是一个很称职的选手。对，但是也不是属于指挥型人才。
所以他们队是很缺一个就是
指挥型人才。是的。所以这个时候教练呢就完美的去把这个位置给弥补了。
是，那 IG.V 战队呢？其实我们一直在聊教练。
IG.V 战队其实你可以理解为是一个因为苏鹏这个选手他就是一个大脑型的存在嘛，他是一个我们 BP 已经开始了。
好，那我们来看一下双方的一个 BP 的画面。
对，果然是把小黑给搬了，应该。
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the WCA Grand Finals. We are here in the beautiful jewel city of Yinchuan to witness a showdown of a lifetime between Vici Gaming and IG.V. The WCA, of course, is run by the municipal government here and aims to cover all competitive esports. They aim to make all the players' games come true. But before we run headfirst into the best of 5, we have to kind of reflect on the journey that some of these teams have taken here in China. First, in the group stages, we saw the hopefuls from SEA and South America battle it out, but unfortunately were eliminated. And then next we have the Russian favorites, who were also unfortunately had to fall short of the semifinals. But we did have our European heavyweights, Pro Dota, hit their way into 4th position. And then we have our top 3 Chinese teams with, of course, We Are Young taking the 3rd position in the brackets. And now it brings us to here, IG.V versus Vici Gaming. This is certainly going to be a bloodbath. My name is Cygnus Casting, and this is my wonderful co-caster, Hua. Hua, what do you think that we're going to see coming out of both of these teams?
Well, so far in the tournament, Vici has been very much dominating every team they met, and even IG, who met them once in the group stage, I believe, got pretty much stomped. So it's going to be interesting to see if Vici actually takes this 3-0 or if IG got prepared a bit better this time.
Yeah, I think I would really like to see at least maybe 1 or 2 games being taken off of Vici, but we've both watched the Vici games and they were extremely strong, just on point, really great communication, and I'm just not 100% sure if we're going to see that coming out of Vitaly. We saw the one match where they ended up drafting a Chen, and it never really came online. I think the game ended up going, Vici drafted a Lifestealer, and I think he went 19-0. It was just like completely snowballed out of control, and meanwhile I think Vitaly were only able to get maybe about 6 frags in total off of Vici. But as mentioned, it's a very important game as to who determines who will get 1st place and 2nd place, with 350,000 for 1st place and 150,000 for the 2nd prize. Let's jump into the draft, shall we, Hua?
I think it's very interesting already because we have a Ricky 2nd pick by IG, which is, I mean, they have actually, like, the hero has been banned quite a lot, but I don't know if any team picked it up but Pro Dota, who won against Vega with it, and thus headed off in the group stage. But as a 2nd pick, this is
yeah,
weird.
Yeah, so how do you feel about the picking up the Ricky? I did notice that Vitaly actually have banned out the Lifestealer. I don't think it's probably too... it's not really established in the Chinese meta with like that kind of Nike's bomb sort of a style of play, but I mean, I think Ricky overall is a pretty strong hero, certainly when you have to get in there and try to maybe get a little bit of scouting. I think Vision's going to be really important for Fidelity because we see Vici moving around the map so frequently.
Yeah, we already see Shadow Demon Mirana from Vici, so probably going to be FY and CDC trying to roam around, get a lot of kills everywhere on every lane. And IG probably heading more towards, like, I don't know, with Luna you would expect them to go for a 5-man lineup to fight a lot. And Ricky, well, the smoke bomb helps with that, but other than that he's more of a roaming hero, so it's going to be interesting to see how they respond to the Shadow Demon Runner with a Ricky roaming around.
Are we maybe potentially going to see Vitaly going for kind of a 4-hero lineup where they kind of create space, try to create chaos, and just allow space for the Luna to farm? Is that maybe what they're aiming for with that kind of indication pick from Ricky?
I think Luna will probably just at the start get protected and later on farm a little bit and just join the fight with her ult until she has 1 or 2 items up.
Another favorite coming out from Vici, we saw them pick up the Dragon Knight actually quite frequently in this tournament and before the patch of 7.0 as well. How do you feel about the Dragon Knight? Like, what sort of playstyle are you now expecting out of the Vici now that we see like there's 3 picks? Are we going to see a lot of roaming? Is it going to be a lot of farming?
Both of them will definitely go for a lot of team fights and 5-man, but they will start it off with a pick off either with the Ricky or with the Shadow Demon Mirana, and after getting that kill, they will try to go for an objective, of course.
Alright, and maybe we could discuss these bans a little bit, because we haven't really delved too much into that. I see a Slark being banned out, which I actually don't think we saw Slark being banned out in the previous group stages or in the semifinals.
Yeah, I'm not really certain why they did that. It might just be because they're not comfortable with having a Slark roaming around on the map picking off the Luna while she split farms or something along those lines.
Yeah, and it's certainly not one of Vichi's top picks either. They don't tend to go for like a Slark or anything like that, but maybe there's something that they know that we don't.
IG used to get Batrider in the first phase actually in most of their games, so it's interesting to see that right now they did not go for the Bat. They banned Nakes themselves, and Vichi gets the Bat as a forced pick.
All right, and so most likely we're going to see FY going to be playing the. Do you think the Shadow Demon?
No, he's going to go for the Mirana, I guess.
The Mirana? Oh my goodness, I think it's going to be great. So DDC on the Shadow Demon, and is it going to be Mikasa on the Dragon Knight and maybe Yang on the Batrider?
I suppose. We'll see. Like it should be.
Alright, so we're just going to be heading into our fourth pick. As you can see, the discussion on the team forum here. They're just seems to be discussing strategy. We're going into our reserve time, but there is certainly a palpable tension here among the audience as they watch as see there's the Legion Commander. We saw this coming out in the semifinals. IG Vitality are now going to kind of reflect that with the Legion. How do you feel about this pickup?
I mean, he can purge the poisons and he can purge the Napalm as well, so it's going to be nice for that.
Yeah, I really like the combination between the Legion Commander and the Witch Doctor as well. It's just, you know, if you see the Legion Commander maybe is not going to be able to complete it, you can drop that Death Ward and just secure the additional damage. And, of course, in a team fight in general, Witch Doctor is also extremely good. I think he's probably decent at causing Batrider a little bit of problems if he does get a Flaming Lasso on as well. I
just realized they did pick Ricky as a second pick against Newbie as well, actually.
Oh, so, did they?
Yeah, so okay. It's something they did run before, and at the same time, the last time they did pick Batrider against Vici, and they lost horribly, so maybe that's one of the reasons why they go for some other slight adaptation of their former strategy.
Alright, so we're just coming into our reserve time now, sitting on this final ban, going to be coming out of Vici Gaming, and I think that they're maybe discussing whether or not this Ricky was going to be being played as a support, as we saw before with, I think it was Sexy Bambo.
No, he played him as an offlaner. He played him as an offlaner.
They're going to play him as an offlaner?
No, but Bamboo did. I don't think Vitality will do the same. I think he will be possibly support. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Alright, well, Vici Gaming have banned out the Sand King. Probably an indication that they think that Vitality are going to be going for another support hero.
Yeah, they probably saw that game against Newbie as well, because they had Sand King, Ricky, Witch Doctor in that one as well. So it's quite similar.
So certainly some good research coming out of FY, which I will say, I think out of all of the captains that we've been able to meet so far at the tournament, I think the most impressive certainly has been FY. Just the way that he communicates with his team, the execution during the games just seems extremely organized, and I think he's probably a really good shot caller as well.
It definitely feels like he's a support that does a lot of game impact.
Yeah. Alright, so we are just going to take a few moments
for the last picks coming out.
For these last picks coming out, Vitality are going to ban out the Sven, which actually was a hero that they played against Vici last time. So
yeah, it's also kind of good against Luna and Ricky and every hero that they have pretty much. So it's kind of an obvious ban, I suppose. Vici still needing the carry, of course.
Yeah, and Vici are still in need of a carry as well. So we have our mid laner, we have our off laner, our two supports. And now it's just going to come down to our safe laner for Vici Gaming. And for Vitality, I imagine that this is going to be mid Legion Commander like we saw with the Pro Dota game, or?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, there it is, the Darkseer. Yeah, this is going to be a massive teamfight game.
Yeah, and Dr. Ricky is an interesting lane to play as well. You can just put the shield on the Ricky and you can wander off into the jungle or try to get a pick-up with it.
Oh goodness, yes, the Ion Shell on the Ricky is the bane of my existence.
Yeah, it's a valid thing, and we've seen it in Europe a couple of times, that they go for a double offlane with Ricky Darkseer, but I'm not sure if IG will go for that as well, or if it will just be constantly roaming or just even being on safe lane. First, at least, trying to secure it.
I think I would really like to see that combination. It's extremely strong against any sort of like, certainly against any sort of like melee safe laner. So Vici are going to have to pick carefully here.
That's going to definitely be a hard lane to stand on. They might go for something like Juggernaut, since it's still in the pool.
And as a
works well against
sustain, good to help with pushes as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Which we want to do with the a Gyrocopter.
Yeah, this has actually been a classic counter against Darkseer in Europe, but he kind of fell from glory, but I guess he's been revived a bit in this patch so far. Like, this isn't the first pickup in this tournament even for the hero.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there is our wonderful drafts for game number 1 between IG Vitality and Vici Gaming. 2 Chinese heavyweights who are just going to be battling it out face to face for a prize pool of $350,000. Pretty significant chunk of money for any team that is involved in this tournament, but my goodness, I am very excited to see what the team fights are going to bring. I mean, it's just going to be absolute chaos. A Darkseer, the Witch Doctor, Luna, and then on top of that, of course, you have like the Bat Rider who's going to be throwing in a lot of chaos in there as well, along with the Gyrocopter putting out quite a bit of DPS. Alright, so let's do our introductions, ladies and gentlemen. So on the Radiant side, we have Mikasa going to be playing that Dragon Knight. We have DDC going to be playing the Shadow Demon. We have FY picking up that Mirana, as you said, Hua. And then we have End on the Gyrocopter. Last but not least, we have Yang, who will be playing the Bat Rider. And then on the Dire side, starting with that safe lane, we have Super, who will be playing the Witch Doctor. We have Paparazzi, who will be playing his famed Luna. We have Sakata, going to be playing that Legion Commander. Dogfight, going to be playing the Ricky. And last but not least, we have In July, going to be playing this Darkseer. I'm actually really interested to see how Darkseer's game style is going to change now that we have the 2 camps here in the off lane, along with, of course, that bounty rune and fairly easy access to a shrine as well.
I think Ricky is going to try to take the bounty on the other side of the map, and at the same time we see Yang doing the same. It's kind of interesting to see because all this like starting positioning thing, I'm not sure if it's going to be as set in stone as it used to be, since there are 4 runes, and it depends if you actually go 5-man and try to grab a rune together, or like pick off on top of it, or if you split up and get multiple runes.
Yeah, so we do see that there is going to be, I think, 1 camp block, and just like a sentry down. I think he's trying to... Oh, let's see if he catches it. Yeah, the Ricky managed to steal that rune. Very well done.
Slight lead for IG already.
Alright, and actually look at this, FY already going for the early smoke. While Bat Rider tries to get a decent block off, they're going to bring themselves out behind, and hopefully they can try to pick off this Luna. That would be an excellent opportunity for First Blood.
It's a very slightly delayed smoke, which is very interesting, since we haven't seen this before, I think, and it might be just out in a kill.
Alright, so we're going to see some napalm stacks coming out, start affecting that turn radius, and that's going to be pretty hard for that Luna to really get anything done at the moment. You can see that she's kind of hiding in the trees, DDC and FY in position. It's a big opportunity for VG already. And there's the arrow is going to end up hitting up the range creep.
Yeah,
and revealing that the Mirana is indeed hiding behind there.
We have Ricky as the offlaner, not support, getting a couple of creeps against Gyro on bot lane.
Oh my, actually, yeah, you're right. In July is just straight up jungling with that Ion Shell along with his Surge. Oh, there we go. Another arrow is going to end up hitting, but there's 2 napalm stacks on Paparazzi. It does look like, once again, VC are just going to do the tier 1 dive before like that 2-minute mark, but there's the Witch Doctor. It's such a great counter initiation. First blood being drawn by Super. There is going to be a pause coming out of Dogfight in the middle of this engagement. Meanwhile, we do see that In July is sitting right on top of Yang with that Ion Shell. There is a Surge available if you so wish. They're both pretty high health, and I think Super is probably going to be able to disengage at this point. 15-second cooldown on his stun. But that just goes to show that like power of the Witch Doctor, just being able to bounce back and forth and just stop engagements like that.
It's an interesting choice as well, because usually, like, okay, so obviously they had the choice to either have the Darkseer close to the lane and farm the jungle to help, or the Ricky be on the lane. So this is the more greedy choice, and it's been working out great for them. Like, FY died from this attempt to gank Paparazzi and actually kill him. And while Super dropped a bit low, he's not going to die from it either.
Yeah. And on top of that, he's just going to be able to grab his boots, which we know that Witch Doctor's attack animation is pretty strong. He can dish out quite a bit of harassment in the lane. And here we go. So July going to have to try to pull back 3 napalm stacks on top of him. Is this going to be 2 kills? Super using that Surge. It's not going to be enough. And now July going to be hit back with that Molotov and will end up falling. It's Yang grabs himself a double kill. We thought they were going to survive, and that was not the case.
getting close to dying, but actually keeping himself alive slightly. Yang even going to get that bounty rune on top lane. So it was actually well done from them. At first it didn't look as nice, but it turned out pretty well. Surprisingly for me.
And overall in the farm, it actually looks like the Leech Commander is doing very well against Mikasa, considering that you usually have to deal with that Breathe Fire, which of course is that damage reduction. Oh, but there's going to be a stun, a couple right clicks. How long is this going to last? There's FY already in position. Sakata using the overwhelming odds to get that movement speed, drops the tree, but a couple more right clicks. Is she going to be able to sustain herself? And there is a lucky invisibility rune. Will it be enough? FY trying to get it, but...
Yeah, she would have gotten away either way, but it was really close. And was a good combination, the arrow. And damaging them. In July keeps on farming, some things coming out to the shrine, but nothing further happening so far.
Yeah, that shrine with that 5-minute cooldown, and Sakata will be back in that lane in no time. Mikasa is going to be able to catch up in the overall last hits now that she was forced out of lane.
GTC and FY trying to set up a kill on the Riki on bot lane. But the lane is way too pushed out, like they have to pull first. And they cannot because it's blocked.
And Sakata's like straight up just tanking that creep wave in the mid, just like face to face with Mikasa.
Yeah, he wants to proc the moment of courage, so he gets more hits off on the DK. So he likes the creep hitting him. It's good.
And in July, sitting at level 4, and we'll start going for this hard camp, jungling fairly well with that Iron Talon.
Yeah, the thing is, Vici needs to keep getting kills here, since they do not have a jungler. Even though Mirana could start doing that as well, but she is not, and she would not be able to keep up with the jungling speed Daxia has. Got the smoke happening, they're trying to get into mid lane. Getting a kill on Sakata, probably.
Well, there's the Breathe Fire, going to reveal. There's the leap into the disruption. There will be a follow-up arrow. Yes, it will. It ends up hitting, and that does mean that our Legion Commander, will she be able to get herself away? There's the extra movement speed.
Damage not enough.
Yep, and that overwhelming odds. Certainly a great place to be with that at level 3.
Meanwhile, Yan jungling a little bit, so the lane proves to be a bit too hard for him to stand on. And FY getting another rune. Is he going to attempt an arrow on the Riki?
So I do see that Paparazzi, just hitting her level 5, is opting to go for the Max and the Lucent Beam. And we have Yang, who is going for the 2-1-2 as well. Going to use up that shrine with DDC. A little bit of pressure on that tier 1. And
I like the aggressive ward that they planted into the enemy jungle on bot lane from IG, because it shows the rotations very nicely on the Riki, so he can be rather safe even if he doesn't see them at first, because they won't smoke for the off lane, I think.
Yeah, and from the last game that we saw between both of these teams, I think IG have certainly learned their lesson with the first iteration of the Vici, with all of those super aggressive rotations within the first like 8 minutes of the game. We saw them, at 2 minutes diving the tower, which they did again in this game. At like 4 minutes, they were already at the bottom tower trying to kill off the offlaner, and then like once again they go mid. So you just see this kind of constant movement, and you are 100% right. Those aggressive wards are going to be extremely useful in scouting out those.
They tried to play Chen against Vici as well, which I guess didn't work out, and they might not try again. I don't know. If they succeed in winning this game, actually, they might go for it again and attempt it again. We'll see.
And just try to overwhelm VC before they can get online?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. How do you feel about like Chen in general in this patch? I know that you obviously haven't been able to have a chance to play him, as most of us have not been able to play most of the heroes since the patch. But do you feel like jungle has been buffed or nerfed in this patch?
It's a really weird thing. I guess it's more like that you basically don't stay in the jungle as you were able to do so before, but you actually have to go in and out of it, since it's a 2-minute timer now. And the runes as well, like, try to make rotations more useful than they were before. I guess the result of it, I don't know what it's gonna like result in.
Yeah, I would have thought that with the like the changes to the jungle, that we would see more Chen and Enchantress. That's what I thought, but we haven't seen a single Enchantress, and we have seen Chen only once, but not unfortunately used successfully. So All right, so we are just paused just for a moment. We just had a slight disconnect with one of the computers. So as you can see, they're currently trying to fix things up. But once our administrators have everything all sorted, we will be back into the game. There's not really all too much we can talk about since it's only about 5 minutes in, but we do see that Yang has picked up his bottle. He has some infused raindrops to help with that harassment damage from the Luna. Meanwhile, Mikasa, of course, going for the bottle, being the mid laner, and Sakata.
Yeah, basically, like, the one difference right now between Vici and IG is, as I mentioned before, since they have a Darkseer jungling, IG only has a Witch Doctor who is a bit worse off, whereas Vici's side has both the Shadow Demon and the Mirana, who are a bit behind in gold and levels. But a single team fight would turn that around anyways. And yeah, typically we have kind of a mirrored situation. Both top and bot tier 1s are being pushed by their respective carry player plus support.
Alright, so we do have our admin just saying go, and there we are. So we're going to start unpausing. I do see that End seems to be doing fairly well in his lane. He's just picked up his phase boots.
Yeah, he's not too pressured by the Riki.
But Luna's certainly doing nicely on the overall farm. Considering that the Bat Riders had to kind of go face to face, that double kill really just put him like toe to toe with that Luna.
So now we have like a level 5 Darkseer, so he's going to start actually going to the lane of the Riki and put a shell on him. So End is actually in a bit of trouble right now.
Oh, there we go. Are we going to... There's the strike, but you can't really play around with the gyrocopter. You have to be very, very careful with that rocket barrage.
Well, it's still good though. It was a very cheap rotation for them, and Gyro has to like be very careful if he can go to the lane at all now.
Yeah, and does this mean that we're going to have to see someone start babysitting him in that safe lane?
Maybe. But they know, like Gyro has been drawing where the Darkseer is.
Oh, there's a disruption, but I don't think there's going to be any follow-up. No, there isn't. DDC is just going to get himself out of there.
Yeah, Mirana not being in range.
Just like a calm before the storm. Yang just using up that Firefly, grabbing a couple extra last hits. Oh, there's going to be a rotation. There's a surge coming in from In July, dipping into the forest, the Mirana.
Did they get the rune? No. Okay.
No, they did not.
Mirana did.
Yeah, Mirana ended up picking it up. Alright, DDC hiding in these trees. Looking for an opportunity, but Legion Commander nowhere really to be found at the moment. And one of those excellent super aggressive wards that also happens to block the camp.
Young is going to opt to go for a bracer, so perhaps soon to have some drums. And there will possibly be a kill attempt on Paparazzi in top lane since FY stands behind him, but does not go for it. Or does he? We'll see. Mikasa invis. Okay, this should result in a kill if he doesn't TP out immediately.
Alright, yeah, Luna's a little bit far up. Is this going to end up happening? Here we go. Mikasa, sneaky little dragon. There he is. Uses a dragon form. There will be the stun. Do we have the follow-up arrow? Yes, there is. And that's going to be a very dead Luna. And Yang going to end up picking that kill. That's going to put 3 kills under his belt.
At the same time, Gyro is killing the Riki. No, he's not. Riki uses his ult to evade the disruption into Gyro ult combination on that bot lane. So while they went aggressive on the carry of IG, they also at the same time saved Gyro and gave him some protection from Riki Darkseer potentially wrecking him at the same time.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, we're going to see that the Dragon Knight be able to use up the Dragon form to secure that top tier 1 tower.
Some superior rotations here by Vici, since Sakata just walking around a bit confused together with Darkseer and Super.
Yeah,
they are going to try to get a kill on the carry now with that smoke though.
Yeah, this might be a bad position for End. No, End is already, he seems to have kind of know what's going on with that rotation. Just gonna hide himself in the trees.
Yeah, it would have been risky for him to go on the lane, and there's no need to take the risk since they're pushing top and got the tower and some farm on top of it.
Yeah, this Gyro's just gonna keep our... Are we gonna see the Mirana maybe and like the rest of the team rotate to this bottom, or...?
No, they might push a bit on mid lane, and if there's a commitment on bot lane, maybe TP.
Well, there we are.
Missing.
Cicada, there's double teleport right away. You are 100% right. And there's Mikasa with a haste rune into the gyro ulti. There's going to be the rocket barrage. And is she going to be able to do anything? She's going to end up falling. There's the stun. It's just like, there we go. So long. There's the flaming lasso. Dogfight going to be able to extract himself. Eclipse coming out. And that's going to be a dead Dragon Knight. Followed by Yang, but all of that Firefly damage. DDC wants this. There's the arrow. Dogfight managed to dodge that as well.
Oh,
super. There we are. FY trying to get Dogfight, but they're going to be in position to be able to try to kill him. There's the sentry already down. Dogfight, are you going to escape? Yes, he will. The teleport to the shrine. Yang making his way out. There's going to be 5 trying to get rid of this Bat Rider. Cicada maybe going to be able to get that. Yeah, there we are. And extra dual damage.
What a mess. At first it looked very much like Vici actually out-rotated IG there, because IG had to go on them since they could have otherwise lost their mid-tower. With the TPs at first it looked nice for them, but the fight ended up taking a long time, and in the end, maybe through help from the Shrine as well, since they used it to heal up, turned around and IG won the fight and will get this tower from it as well on top of some kills. So the situation, yeah, they turned it around quite well.
Now, out of it, oh, okay, the gyro just going to read. There's going to be the double TP. Is this going to be the turnaround? Going to use the surge on the Witch Doctor. Can we get in July? He has his surge up in just 5 seconds. Couple right clicks, but I don't think anything is going to come of it. Paparazzi, arrow, going to end up missing.
Well, this is kind of sad. I guess they thought Luna just TP'd out. Had they known this, they could have stunned into arrow. But they did save their tower. It was a good attempt again.
Now with this dragon form, like all 5 of them are up. Gyrocopters has 25 seconds on his ult. Do you think they're going to try to do anything with this dragon form, or is it just kind of like, alright, let's go back to business as usual?
I don't think they will commit to the tower, because IG would be healed up a bit more and they're already rotating away. In fact, this might be quite scary for Mikasa. Riki coming in from behind. Maybe they'll pick off DDC or at least try. It's nice how he doesn't walk to lane for fear of potential sentries with that Riki. And he sees the courier. Is he going to get the courier?
Yeah, 1 hit, 2 hits. That is a dead courier.
Dust on the Bat Rider though. Is he going to try to? No, he won't.
They're going to drop a sentry here.
And some D-wards coming out from IG at the same time on bot lane to set up a potential fight in front of their tier 1 with Riki.
And Cicada uncontested, going to be able to take that tier 1 at the top.
No, it fell before actually, I think.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. Yang finding the Riki though.
Alright, we'll use up his ultimate, try to save himself a little bit of time. But into the flaming lasso, into a follow-up arrow, and that is a very dead Riki.
Witch Doctor in July. Are they going to defend this tower? Need Dragon Form up in a second, so they might just go for this tier 1 since Riki is still dead. No, no way. Not yet anyways.
Oh yeah, there's 3. Oh, there's going to be actually a smoke coming out. I think they maybe want to try to get Cicada.
Yeah, they might want to try to get the duel on the Arcane Rune as well.
Oh, there's Mikasa. He's got the Dragon Form. Does end up getting a stun, and there will be the return of the Mirana ult.
Oh.
I don't think that Maledict is going to be even close enough to take out that
Legion used the overwhelming odds instead of just trying to get that duel as soon as possible. I'm not sure if he would have gotten the duel either way, but yeah, the tower will die from itself.
Yeah, well, they will end up securing themselves this bottom tier 1
and
with that engagement.
Get pressured a little bit for it. Drums up on the Bat Rider by now, halfway down to the blink as well. But this tower won't get pressured even. IG definitely looking strong compared to what they did before.
Oh, there's another ult being forced out. Bat Rider going to have to pull back just a moment. There is the cask jumping between everyone on the Radiant side.
Oh, Riki being pushed into the river, but no vision on him.
And while this is happening, the Luna Illusions are pushing that tier 2 in the bottom.
Yang not getting to the shrine because the root nearly kills him for the new ancients. That looked very confused there. Just new patch things. Paparazzi just farming away, uncontested.
Yeah, actually, let's take a quick look at the overall net worth of things. It's actually, this Luna is farming like mad. She's sitting on 6.2 in overall net worth. Meanwhile, on the toes, we do have the LC and the Darkseer. So overall, the Radiants are actually not as far ahead as I think they would like.
Yeah, it was actually that Gyro was a bit ahead in the farm, but then a couple of skirmishes happened and Paparazzi pulled on ahead by 100 gold per minute, even more, which is very nice for them.
Alright, and is the next pick item that we're going to be seeing on this Luna going to be like a Helm of the Dominator, or?
Oh, some Gyro.
Oh, hello.
Bounty getting away. It's interesting to see that you can actually shell the ancient creeps now. Like, Darkseer tried to do that and didn't really end up killing them, but I guess he just retreated back for a little while.
Alright, so Mikasa going to pick up a little bit extra farm in the mid and a little cheeky deny coming out of super.
It might be that Luna actually skips the Manta and goes for a BKB before, simply because, yeah, it makes her more tanky in the team fights and don't need as much damage if you have a Darkseer already and a Witch Doctor.
Oh, FY. There's Dogfight in position, seeking her out. But FY might know what's going on. There it is. She's just standing there. And there's the silence. Not 100% sure. Must have been looking somewhere else. He's going to leap herself out of the range of the Riki ult. Oh, very well done by In July. Sucks the Mirana into his fray, and they end up getting the kill on the Luna of all people.
I think DDC should notice that the Ancients have been blocked. He's not sure if he succeeded in stacking, I guess, because of the new patch. So he doesn't know that there is indeed a ward up. It doesn't look like he dewarded it now. I guess they're going to pressure the top tier 2. Are they going to? Oh, Yang getting really close to dying there for a second. And we see a DD on the Legion Commander, so they definitely will, I think, commit to getting this tower, maybe even the Batrider before.
And our Legion Commander is sitting on her Mordigans, and they're all just going to group up. And Yang playing it very safe, just you see him like on the far side, behind the tier 2.
That was very well done, like he pulled away the creeps as well, so the tower is not going to die quite yet. Saved them another 10 seconds or so to pressure on the mid tower.
Yeah, with that dragon form, but we are going to see a response TP coming out of Cicada, and a cancel from the Witch Doctor.
Very careful pokes by both teams there, like both on the mid lane and that top tier 2. Not trying to overcommit and lose the game on it.
Here we go. Oh, this might be a very dead Paparazzi potentially.
And
they have smoke.
The Mirana ult comes out.
Mirana ult. You see her moving away. That movement speed. Zipping away.
They were ready for it. Did they ping out the thing? I guess they saw with the high ground ward that they have near the rune or something like that.
They were smoked. Okay. I think it was just
so he just predicted
good game sense.
Yeah. More small back and forths.
Oh, there we are. Overwhelming odds, and Cicada just gonna keep denying Mikasa. I really feel like, you know, throughout this tournament, we've seen Vici pretty much almost like always start dominating by like the 20-minute mark. But I really do not feel like this is the case here. They feel like they're kind of like on their heels.
Yeah, usually they gain their advantages. Like in a few games that they played where it was somewhat even, they gained their advantages from the team fights taking a while longer because they just kept up their perfect positioning skills and everything that managed to help them to pull ahead in this.
Yeah, IG certainly bringing their A game and are going to secure that tier 1 mid.
We have a blink on Batrider as well now though, and I don't think IG knows this. So Paparazzi might be in trouble since he's getting close now.
They're going to dedicate themselves to a Roshan. I don't know, this feels dangerous. Are they going to do anything about this?
Well, FI would have to TP, which would be seen by them. I think it's quite safe actually.
Yeah.
They cannot contest it.
I was wondering if maybe there would be... Yeah, they just ping it out, but I think it's going to be too late. Jaro's game sense on point, but can't really do much. So instant teleport coming out from Luna on that bottom to protect the tier 2.
Pulling way ahead of the Gyro in terms of farm.
So, as a gyrocopter, is it hard to play from behind in like this sort of scenario? Like, or is it Gyro is kind of someone you want to be snowballing with?
He's very similar to Luna in the sense that his spells actually carry the team fight. Maybe even more so, since Luna only has her ult pretty much. But yeah, in this case, since they're both very similar heroes, it's a good thing that IG has more farm on their Luna. For now.
I think the joke on Reddit has always been that Gyro is like the poor man's Luna.
Yeah, he needs a little bit less gold in the early mid game, I suppose.
Alright, so Paparazzi sitting at a solid level 15, has that Dragon Lance power treads into the Yasha, and you think that it was going to potentially just skip. Yep, there it is, the BKB skipping the Manta right away. So this is going to be a very powerful carry for the next team fight. I don't even know what what does VG have to do here? Do you have to just make sure that you get Yang to get the Flaming Lasso off and maybe pull the Luna out of position, or are you going to focus on something else?
Well, both of them play with a very similar gameplay and game style, so both of them are trying to just farm, split push a bit and rotate better than the other team to get some kind of a pick off on top of which they can eventually push a tower or get more. But right now it seems as if it's harder for Vici to get these situations. And I think they already struggled at the very beginning a little bit, at least, with their Shadow Mirana to get kills. That arrow nearly hitting someone in the smoke.
You see the drawing on the map, and already they're just going right in for that gyro. But oh my goodness, like this.
The blink on Legion, they want a duel, but will they find someone? I don't think they will. They're gonna be fine. Trying to bait the smoke with that illusion, DDC, but then he nearly revealed, but then he realized it's an illusion.
It was very close. And there's the other illusion. Goes down. Yeah, they're like right inside the base.
However, FY hiding, not pushing quite yet. He needs that 800 gold for his Aghanim, so it's going to be really important for Vici here to get ahead on the team fight.
The items, and looks like we might see a dedication to the tier 2 potentially. I mean, the SD though using the illusions very effectively on the gyro just to make sure that they can't push in as effectively, but
yeah, I mean right now the situation is IG needs to commit to the tower and take the tower, because otherwise they're losing out in farm a little bit. But they already know this, so Ricky already rotating away, trying to find the Backrider. Does not.
Alright, there will be the fortification. And looks like Paparazzi will be able to pick up this tower. Oh, there we are.
And the duel happened on FY on bot lane.
But no damage, and FY is going to end up falling to the overwhelming odds, though.
Yeah. That looked very weird since the duel got off in the leap animation there.
Yeah, so for a Legion Commander sitting at 21 minutes, though, I feel like you kind of want to have a little bit more dual damage than 10.
Well, yes and no. The thing is, the more organized the game is, the harder it is to get the duel wins. And also, Ricky trying to find Yang.
And Yang is already out of there.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, it's more important that he just buff the Luna in the right moments with press the attack, so they have more team fight damage, and that he stuns the important heroes with his ult rather than getting the dual damage, because he's not the main source of the damage. And while it's nice having more damage, of course, it's not really game breaking or I don't know, it's not that important.
We've noticed that now Mikasa has also picked up a BKB. For Mikasa, is that kind of like a not like optimal item? Like, do you feel like you would want to go something else on the Dragon Knight first? Oh, well, here we are into a Death Ward and the duel. That's going to be more damage for Cicada. They're going to maybe try to force the issue on this tier 2.
Well, as I said before, this game looks very different from what they played against Vici yesterday. Like, they're definitely playing their A game this time.
Yeah, it's certainly not a it's certainly not the same game at all for IG. Alright, so the second tier 2 is going to go down. That leaves only one Radiant tier 2 before these shrines can be removed. And a lot of the control for the game for Vici can be eliminated.
As you said before, the early BKB on Dragon Knight, it's always some kind of a double-edged sword because it gives you a fast boost in team fights, but at the same time you earlier have lower duration on the avatar, and you also do not have any other items that help you team fight, like a Shadow Blade or a Blink or any item that gives you damage or stats other than that.
Alright, so we're going into the Mirana ults. Scouted out potentially, I think, by...
Yeah, they know.
Yeah, that sentry.
I think they saw it with the ward that blocks the Ancients again though as well. I think next game Vici will probably ban out that Ricky. But we'll see.
Yeah, Vici do now finally have dewarded that aggressive Ancient ward.
Yeah, they keep replanting it. I don't know if they dewarded it before, but like Ricky planted a new one like 30 seconds ago. I guess they knew because the Mirana ult failed this time at least.
Yeah, and in the overall net worth, Luna's still sitting very confidently on the top of everybody. However, the Aghanim Scepter is now out on FY, and we have the Yasha Dragon Lance, and it looks like, is this going to be a Sanjay Yasha coming on end, or is this going to be the starting of a BKB?
Oh, it's on whom? Oh, they're going to get the tier 2 on bot lane. Oh, is the... No, okay. Yeah. Legion is also going to get that BKB next, I suppose.
I thought maybe that they would let the T2 go and then maybe try to like catch them out at the shrine, because that's going to be the next structure to just be removed from the map, I believe.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to take a fight at the shrine yet. They don't really care, it seems. I don't know. I'm not sure if...
If it's worth it?
Yeah, like it's kind of... You get a lot of gold, I suppose. You get like 150 per hero, I think. But it's also a bit of a time investment, in which point you don't really go for any like important objectives. But yeah, well, right now it's not... I don't know, they're trying to pick off top lane, so I guess that's an objective. Alright. Aghanim's up on FY by now. They're trying to turtle it out a bit longer, trying to delay the high ground push, but I think IG is just fine with that. They will wait for the next Roshan probably, and maybe even the butterfly on Luna before they try anything.
When it comes to the high ground push, who has the advantage out of both of these drafts?
Well, Vici won't be pushing any high grounds for a long time, so for now they only have to defend. And of course, if you have a Batrider, defending is like very much possible. It's not like that hard. Mirana as well, they can easily kill off the creeps.
Along with the damage coming out of DDC and the disruption illusions.
They pick up a gem even on the docks here to have complete map domination. So reducing the space that Vici has to catch up and get some gold even more.
Alright, and Sakata.
See that 4-man smoke rotation into the Radiant jungle.
Alright, they will be revealed. But defensive Mirana ulti, but oh, there's the taunt on the Gyrocopter. This is a big pick-off for them, and that is indeed going to be the case. Gyro down now for 50 seconds with no buyback.
Well, they might try to force that buyback, and if it's not there, they can possibly get high ground? I don't know. Mirana can defend against this if she gets the creep wave.
Yeah, he just bought out for his BKB, so he has no buyback. Alright, there's the disruption, and those Luna illusions are actually doing a decent amount of damage. But there we are, going for that tier 3 tower. Does not even care, will face tank it. She is quite tanky now with that Eagle Song along with the... Oh, there we are. So they're going to continue, and there's the Death Ward going in the 2. It's going to be 2 down. Mirana and FY trying to get a little bit of extra damage with Starfall, but not going to be enough. BKB is popped. Some good right clicks, and now Mikasa just doing his best to defend against the onslaught of their structures. There's another duel, and now the Dragon Knight is also going to go down. That leaves only FY and the Gyrocopter, who will use his ultimate to try to mitigate over this. There's a Starfall, oh my goodness, they're so low! There's so much damage, and is it going to be enough? It isn't! And they end up losing every single one of them. It's 6 go down, and now
GG is being called.
That will be the GG. And so game number 1 will end up going to IG against Vici, but this is a best of 5, so we are not even close to the end of this bloodbath.
Yeah, it was very beautifully executed, a very nice push with Legion Luna in the very end, but they didn't even need the setup.
们这是扛着 VG 的进攻，他们还是
能不能守住是吗？
他们不但守住，而且胜利了，所以我觉得
就是被你言中了，是不是？预言家，
他是比较看好 IG.V 的，
对，你们两个就是在这上面有一点点分歧，是不是？一个是站 VG 这边，一个是 IG.V。
其实我也没有完全站 IG.V， 就是我觉得 IG.V， 这两支队伍其实实力差不多。
是，
就是
你觉得他们的风格和打法更适合这个版本，所以你当时选择了支持他们。
因为你说
我已经选了，你们他没
会打起来吗？
不会，因为他说他支持 VG 嘛，我觉得可能 VG 没有想象中的，就是跟 IG.V 比的话，没有想象中那么强大。我觉得 IG.V 还是有胜面，而且胜面不小，对吧？这局的话，其实看得出来，这个米拉纳赌狗这个组合，其实在这个版本已经没有那么强了。之前也看过一场比赛，也是这个米拉纳加赌狗，但是呢，
节奏有点慢了。其实
对这一局，其实前期对线期下来是一个2比1的比分，他们只有在上路打开过局面，
均势基本上前期。
对，这其实对于赌狗跟米拉纳来说是一个不能接受的结果，因为这个组合应该说是走到哪杀到哪。
对，
但是呢，就是前期这样一个比分。应该说也是 IG.V 做的比较好，他们是把这个引刺放在了下路。我也看到这个赌狗和 POM 两个人去找过他，但是这个狗打架确实是很细腻啊，一直是没有给对方抓到自己的机会，而这个 DS 就一直默默的在野区发育。应该说，就是今天的这个赛前准备工作。还是 IG.V 技高一筹，就他们已经
充分一些，
对，已经大概率猜到了这个 VG 会在班人上去针对自己前一天的选人。确实，事实告诉我们 ，VG 是搬掉了前面我们所提到的几个，包括他们2盘使用的中单伐木机和黑鸟，对，但是 IG.V 应该说已经预料到了，所以他们
有其他的阵容拿出来，
对，他们是准备了另外一个阵容。
这个失利跟最后一手飞机有没有关系？其实我们刚刚好像说错了一点，就是不是 VG 用过飞机，我记得是 VG。打牛币的时候，牛币又拿过一场飞机输掉了，
对，
就是其实飞机出来胜率还是比较低的。你觉得跟他们最后一手这个飞机有没有关系？如果真的像你所说拿一个拍拍熊出来的话，会不会好一点？
还真不是1号位的问题。其实我仔细想了一下，拍拍熊肯定是没有飞机好这个，因为拍拍熊这局要面对什么引刺的巫医的麻痹药剂，然后他再怎么样，他是个近战英雄，可能他对线期凶一点，但是这局你对线再凶没用，对方是个引刺，对吧？你永远碰不到别人。这局其实还是就是 VG 的这个整体体系，我们刚刚说到的这个赌狗 POM 这个点容错率太低，就是你前面如果建立的优势不够大，不能够打到对方不敢上线，或者有一路完全被打爆的情况下，这个组合选出来打到中后期 POM 这个点，我们不说赌狗啊，赌狗这个关还是蛮厉害的，但是 POM 这个点也就完全变成了一个就是很尴尬的角色。你看到太子其实出到了 A 仗，但是他的输出真的很有限，作用也非常有限，他更多的体现在他这个大招上面。那这局 IG.V 其实防得非常好，就几次只要感觉到你开大，立刻所有人往后缩。然后放针眼什么的，细节处理的都是比较好。蝙蝠这局也没有找到特别好的机会去先手拉人，有一波很伤。他们在这个下路1塔其实已经打赢了，但是硬是追到了这个 IG.V 的圣坛啊，让对方靠着圣坛稍微补给了一下，又冲出来反打了一波。从那波开始之后，就是 VG 已经气势上就不如 IG.V 顺势打个盾，一直在掌控比赛。
那么可能在 IG.V 这场比赛当中 ，IG.V 可能细节把控的更好一些，那么可能在比赛之前的针对也就更足一些。那其实我觉得像这2个势均力敌的战队，那么他们实力相当，这样一场比赛，真的就是比谁的失误更少一些，对，谁的求胜欲更强一点。所以我们也非常期待双方在第2场比赛的一个对决。那么其实我相信今天的比赛会异常的激烈，可能会打满5局，所以敬请期待。那么接下来呢，我们稍事休息，待会儿再见。
could be worse. A self-inflicted murder, maybe, maybe. You say it's all a crisis, you say it's all a blur. There comes a time you gotta face it, face it. Hey, hey, hell is what you make, rise against your fate, fate. Nothing's gonna keep you down, even if it's killing you, because you know the truth. Listen up, there's a devil in the church, got a bullet in the chamber, and this is gonna hurt. Let it out, you can scream and you can shout, keep your secrets in the shadows and you'll be sorry. Everybody's
站在最好的赛场上，让更多人为你欢呼。这是全部吗？不，你还拥有无限可能。重塑对极限的认知。Alienware Area 51采用英特尔酷睿 i7 处理器。
Floating keycap. Change it yourself. T-Move.
奥风，透气的电竞，新品首发，专为游戏竞技定制，冠军战队专属选择，龙珠女子战队倾城代言，专业电竞显示器 iGun 爱攻，顶级战场等你来战。
强者并非与生俱来，而是源自强大的内心，是充满力量的心，是专注的心。它可以把控一切，同时不失细节。这颗心让强者卓然超群，打破限制，撼动世界。要知道，磨练可以造就强者，而英特尔酷睿 i7 处理器更让强者势不可挡。
这
来看镜头，
无关身份，无关性别，无关分数高低，无关内敛还是耀眼，无关体重，无关收入多少，无关命运、选择、前途、希望。这只关系到每一次当你准备战斗，等待最后的读秒。你是谁？
别给我说要低调，我根本听不到。想跟我讲什么战术走位，你最好先追上我。
盲狙、甩狙除了反应，还需要天赋。
该
感觉来了，枪枪都是黄金爆弹。
节奏加距离，使用刀可以削翻全场。
在我的世界里，
做不了最好的，
就做最屌的。
穿越火线，不服来战，站在最好的赛场上，让更多人为你欢呼。这是全部吗？不，你还拥有无限可能。
52 vs 52超大规模机甲战争，机动战士敢达 OL 最新资料片上线，不同阵容的势力对抗，带你体验有史以来最大规模国战。最强 ZZ 敢达降临，快来感受最强敢达机师的魅力和荣耀。戴尔游侠7000笔记本专为年轻群体设计。炫酷外形，性能强悍。了解更多优惠，请关注游侠7000官方微店。傲风之刃电竞外观专利，纳米级透气靠背，180度后躺，4D 扶手 ，Auto Four 傲风，电竞选手爱用的电竞椅。制胜之道，长指之间，狼派电竞装备。
T-Move
专业电竞品牌 iGO 爱公为 WCA 2016官方唯一指定显示器品牌，爱公为荣耀而战。极客极致极酷，西伯利亚专业电竞游戏耳机，带你来一场身临其境的战斗。
Welcome back, everyone, to the WCA Grand Finals, where we are going into game number 2 between IG and Vici Gaming. We had a very exciting, well-executed game. There wasn't a lot of kills, but you could see that like the map movements were just very precise. The overall game sense between both the teams, they kind of both knew each other's timings extremely well. What do you think we're going to see when we're coming into game number 2?
It might be very much a lot of the same stuff, apart from Ricky mayhaps being first ban. Some teams did it already against IG, but Vici did not do it this time, and the Ricky really helped them out a lot by planting very deep wards, uncontested, not being able to counter ward those wards, because they didn't see how they were planted or when they were planted, despite having ward vision up on top of it.
That's very true, and it's actually interesting to know that the history between both of these teams, they've played against each other in several different tournaments. I mean, everything from just like the qualifiers for several of the majors to some of the more local tournaments like this one here in Yinchuan, and they have quite like a back and forth between each other. It's actually more closer to like a 50% win rate between both the teams, which may be just an indication of how skilled both these teams are when they're facing up against each other.
Yeah, the game was definitely a slow pulling ahead instead of a very one-sided game as the playoffs had before. Yeah, I think FY and DTC need to rotate a bit more and be more successful, because that's what usually happened when they did win their games, and it didn't happen as much this time.
Yeah, I feel like the awards that were coming out of the supports on IG were, as you mentioned, just like spot on. They were scouting out every single one of these rotations between the Mirana and the Shadow Demon. Do you feel like we're going to see a repeat of that Mirana Shadow Demon combo coming out of Vici, or do you think they're going to go for something else, like maybe that IO pick that they had last time?
They might. I'm not sure. Mirana isn't that crazy of a hero, and they might go for something a bit more crazy, like Wisp, which is not that crazy either for Vici, but it's a bit the next level of movement or something, if you so like. But they also went for a Pudge-Rubik combination earlier, so maybe they'll go for that. We'll see.
Yeah,
Rubik definitely being a hero that's like better in this patch.
Yeah, I have to say that game with the Pudge-Rubik was pretty impressive. You were seeing the Rubik, you know, he would just like kind of zoop around out behind, and then he'd just wait for the perfect moment. You'd see the lift, and then right away, just right into that hook, pulling the support out position, and just like ripping through them and just getting those pickoffs. And I really like kind of niche combinations like that, because we haven't seen that from any other team here at WCA. And it also goes to show, once again, not to like keep repeating myself too much, but just how good the communication is on Vici. And I mean, previously with that Chen game where we saw Vici go up against IG Vitality, I really didn't feel like Vitality were communicating at all. Like, we saw them kind of going everywhere. The Chen never really got online. He wasn't pushing with his team, with the creeps or anything like that, and it just felt like kind of all over the place. And then, you know, Vici, they ended up getting like 26 kills to 5 or something like that. But as mentioned, just coming into it, we're like a new day, you know, fresh start, first game, and already, you know, punching way above their weight class. We see Vitality just going in there. Was there any particular players that stood out for you during the last game?
I think they all just did very well. Like, I like the way they put the Dox into the jungle at first, instead of like trying to put him on the offlane instantly and get some levels in the jungle before he moves over and starts shelling the Riki, so they can put some pressure and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, they needed more rotations to be successful for Vici, and it just didn't happen, so the slightly greedy play with Dox the jungling worked out very well.
So do you feel that going into game number 2 that maybe Vici have to rethink the really aggressive rotations and that sort of thing, since it wasn't successful, and they kind of have maybe realized that IG have a fairly good sense of when they're going to be rotating into what lane, and maybe they should kind of play a more static sort of game? Or do you think that it's just, it was coming down to the execution itself, like the players just weren't 100% in the right position at the right time and made it work?
I'm not sure. We'll see. The thing is, basically, they will just respond to the draft, of course. So it's going to be interesting to see whether both teams are going to try to get that Luna, and if so, which one of them will actually be able to get the Luna. Because Gyro didn't feel as if, like, he didn't have as much impact as the Luna. It felt kind of hard. There was this, like, one situation where they pushed into their base, and he dished out a lot of damage in a very short amount of time, and it looked like they nearly were able to actually, like, turn around the fight after they lost their Rex already, but it didn't end up working for them.
Yeah, when it comes to like players, at least for me, that really stood out, I think Yang on the Batrider stood out quite a bit for me. I mean, early in the game, he turned a situation that looked like it was going to be like a surefire death into a double kill, and then I think just later on he turned it into like a third kill, and he had like a huge advantage in that lane going up against the Luna. Obviously it didn't work out to his advantage in the end, but I feel like Yang played extremely well. And on top of that, I feel that the Legion Commander in the mid, where normally I would think that the Legion Commander would struggle up against a Dragon Knight, she definitely did not. Like, the overwhelming odds, she was able to escape from a whole bunch of rotations, and on top of that, was able to outlast hit the Dragon Knight as well, and that was even with him maxing the Breathe Fire to reduce her overall last hitting potential. So we are going to be heading into the draft here, game number 2 between Vici Gaming and IG Vitality. Of course, this is going to be a best of 5, so it could just mean that we're one step forward towards that $350,000 prize pool for the first place, or we could see someone making a bit of a tie, and who knows, we could see a series that goes 2-3.
And this time we'll see Vici having the first pick. I think they did not last time, yeah. Last time IG had first pick, so Vici having first pick this time. Banning out the bounty that IG also banned out a lot in the group stage.
Yeah, the Bounty Hunter, and we kind of discussed this before with the patch. You've said that the level progression is much faster. The patch has essentially eliminated 2 levels, which was level 25, level 24. So now level 25 is like the same amount of experience that you would have at level 23. So now we're seeing kind of like this faster progression into level 6, and these kind of heroes that come online at level 6, like a Bounty Hunter with those track kills, is just like so much more powerful than it was before. And we saw previously in another game where the Bounty Hunter was actually one of the heroes that really determined the entire net worth of a team. You saw it was like a very even game the entire time. Bounty Hunter hits level 6, and then it was like track kill over and over and over again, and then it just snowballed out of control. And I think that actually was the game that Pro Dota ended up losing against that. I think they picked up the Crobulus up against the Bounty Hunter, and it just did not work out. So Vici are just going to have none of this invisible stuff going on. They are going to ban out the Bounty Hunter and the Ricky.
And I like how they planned the draw from IG. And you see Luna first pick from Vici making exactly the same draft so far as IG did last time.
Alright, so first pick is going to be on this Luna, and then we have the double pick on Vitality, but let's take a quick look at their bans. So you do see that they're going to ban out the Drow, and they're going to ban out the Lifestealer. Now, the Drow Ranger makes a lot of sense. I think that pretty much removes Vici's one of their strongest kind of strategies, which is the Drow with the Venge, and what was the third pick for that? I think it was like the Windrunner, and
just a lot of range.
Yeah, it was just like a ton of damage coming out. And then, of course, they know from experience from that Chen game that they play a very, very mean Lifestealer, and so we are going to see Lifestealer being eliminated from the pool as well. Now, Vitality, their captain, probably discussing what do we want to go for, what's the play style, and so straight off the bat, they're like, all right, Batrider, Silencer. What does this indicate to you? What kind of play style?
It's just something they're very comfortable with. Like, they picked those 2 heroes before a lot. Like, Batrider and Silencer together, they picked both of them a lot, like I said before. We probably will see just a very similar draft, actually, on both sides as we did last team, at least when it comes to what is supposed to happen. We will see someone who is able to pick out the single target, which was Legion or Batrider, respectively, and we will see some normal 5-man fighting, pushing heroes. Shadow Demon again coming out from Vici, a hero they're obviously very comfortable with.
And I think it's actually a really great for their second pick going into the next stage of bans, because it forces Vitality to think, well, are they trying to kind of like bait out like a Mirana ban, even though they have no intention of picking it, or they don't ban out the Mirana and then Vici end up being able to pick up the Mirana if they want it. So it's kind of one of these things where they're kind of forcing the next ban out of Vitality, which I think is a really great strategy coming out from Yang, who I think is drafting at the moment.
They would have to reveal that Mirana though, because they would have to if they go for Mirana, they will possibly ban the Legion, because removing the arrow just takes away a very big chunk of what Mirana is good for. I wonder if they will actually do that in the second stage, disregarding whether they pick Mirana in the end or not, like removing that Legion, since he worked very well for IG last time.
Alright, so IG are going to opt to ban out the Darkseer, which means we are not going to be able to see that wonderful Darkseer jungle or, any sort of like invisibility sort of thing going on. But actually, I guess, the Bounty Hunter and the Ricky both are removed. So maybe you can delve a little bit further into why the Darkseer was removed from Vici's play.
It's just a very nice hero to 5-man with, and he's good against Batrider as well. I think the next hero to look out for is probably going to be DK, because either team can still pick him up, and he's also been very much used by both teams so far.
And the Earth Spirit pickup, we saw a lot of Earth Spirit in previous patches, and I felt like he worked really well for like the roaming sort of scenario that we'd actually typically see out of Vici, but they're the ones who are banning it. Do you feel that like Earth is still a really strong pick? I kind of always felt that he'd really fallen off.
Well, he certainly got nerfed into some kind of a balanced hero, but I don't think he's useless quite yet. People still like him a lot, and he still does a lot, actually.
All right, and so we are going to see Vitality are going to be forced to ban out that Mirana, and that does leave the Legion Commander, as you mentioned, in the pool for VC to pick up if they so wish. When we're talking about interactions between like the Shadow Demon and the Bat Rider, my understanding is that if Bat Rider jumps in and uses the Flaming Lasso, Shadow Demon can just instantaneously defensively use the disruption. Is that correct?
Yeah, of course. The DK ban coming out here, so possibly they will go for a Legion again, but I'm not sure if they do want to go for it, because depending on what carry they want to pick, Gyro, for example, is not even close to as good with the Legion buff as a Luna, but at the same time, if they don't pick it, then Vici might just pick up the Legion themselves. We'll see.
I think the other thing that's really scary about IG's draft, even just with the two heroes, is it gives a lot of potential for them to very safely pick someone off. Like the Bat Rider can use his blink, go in, and then try to drag someone out with a follow-up silence from the silencer, and then at that point you pretty much can't do anything to save whoever they're trying to kidnap. And we are going to see the Outworld Devourer, which I actually think this is the first time that we've seen him actually make it through the draft. I think most of the time he's either banned out or just not picked at all.
No, I think IG picked him as well though, before, with the very similar lineup. Like they had Bat, Naked, Silencer, OD, and S in one game, and they won it against We Are Young. And it's just, they're staying very close in their comfort zone and just making sure that nothing out of the ordinary appears. And of course, OD is a nice hero to have against any illusions as well, so Shadow Demon is going to have to struggle a bit with his disruption push.
That is indeed the case. And of course, I believe they've also buffed the Essence Aura. It now applies to illusions. I don't think that we're going to see all that many illusions coming out of the OD, but just kind of a neat little interaction that they've added into the game. And now that the Ancients are magic immune, the Arcane Orb still doesn't work on them. Is that correct? They have made sure that that doesn't happen?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that they have done that, so Outworld Devourer isn't completely insane, but actually we're now seeing the Nyx Assassin being picked up, and I think the Nyx Assassin is considered like a pretty strong counter to Outworld Devourer.
Of course, it's like a direct counter. Interesting enough, we see a Pit Lord actually. I like this pickup because I've heard he's very strong. I have not yet actually seen him. Any game we casted so far did not have a Pit Lord in it, or Underlord. But he's a very great hero if you want to 5-man push, and he works very nicely against Luna as well, since his aura reduces her damage by a lot.
Yes, this is very true, and the Underlord being one of these heroes that you know, is newer to, well, is definitely, I think, new to Captain's mode. And the thing about Underlord is I find that his Firestorm gives him a lot of lane presence. He's just able to pretty much spam out the spell as much as he wants, and he can push the lanes very effectively. But the other thing about Underlord is that, like, let's say if you're in a situation where things are just absolutely not going your way, the Luna's using her Eclipse or something, you know, absolutely deadly is happening, Underlord can just use his ultimate and save all of his teammates and bring them back to the fountain, which we've seen very clutch plays in some of the scrims and some of the public games that we've seen. I'm wondering if we're going to see that out of Vitality here as well.
The thing is, of course, you can like basically commit a bit more into a situation. You can keep pushing a tower when usually you would have to retreat, because you will be brought to safety by that Dark Rift, so you get like a couple of more seconds of pushing and damage on their base.
Alright, so we have the next pickup going to be the Leshrac coming out of Vici. Leshrac, a hero that I really haven't seen all that much, but I feel like he's really great at pushing. You can use that Diabolic Edict, which does quite a bit of physical damage. You can kind of like push a tower from a bit of a distance. In team fights, it's very effective as well. He has an incredibly effective slow. The AoE damage is insane. How do you feel about this Leshrac being picked up into like the Outworld Devourer, though? I feel like Leshrac like melts pretty much.
He's not that amazing of a hero, I think, to pick up actually here, but I will mayhaps be proven wrong. He's going to be the second support probably, but he'll play by FY, but maybe, I don't know. The thing is, with this patch he might also be a core again, but I remember very vaguely some time ago FY used to play that hero as a support and eventually like get into a carry core role, but just by being rich from his roaming and ganking.
Well, I mean, the slow has a very short cooldown. On top of that, he can follow up the Shadow Demon disruptions with the Split Earth, which is quite a bit of damage and has a decent stun. And I think that's probably what we're going to end up seeing, is probably like the Split Earth into the Lightning Storm build. And I think it's just going to be an interesting choice. Like, yeah, I haven't seen a Leshrac in so long. I'm kind of hoping that we see something amazing here. But as you mentioned, like, it's kind of sometimes considered a fairly like lackluster hero.
Yeah, he's been pushed away a little bit, I guess, from the meta. I like the ban of Jug though by Vici, so because it makes the push a bit weaker, that otherwise might have just completely steamrolled them fairly early on.
Oh, I actually really like this. So we are going to see the, as you mentioned, the Juggernaut being banned out. And then, what was the last ban out of IG Vitality?
SF.
It was the SF. And now it means that the last two pickups from Vici and IG is going to be the Razor, which I am really happy to see. And then we have Vitality going to be picking up that Morphling, which I feel like is continuing to be an extremely powerful hero in this patch.
Yeah, we are young picked him a couple of times. I don't know if IG did not, I think. But it's going to be interesting because there's some deviations from his usual build, which is most of the time have been link-ins into EB directly. Because nowadays you can actually go and get a Dominator because it's kind of useful to do that. You can build it out of a headdress now and the creeps are faster. This is what We Are Young did earlier, and they did it to a huge success to gain their 3rd place.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're just heading into the game right now. There's going to be just a quick pause while some hotkeys are figured out, but we are here at the WCA 2016 Grand Finals. I am so happy to have my co-caster Hawa with us, and we're going to be casting this game here, game number 2 between IG Vitality and Vici Gaming. Of course, Vici are going to be taking the dire side now as they received the first pick, and now we have on the Radiant side, IG. So we'll do our introductions really quickly. So we have on the Radiant side, Super, who will be playing the Silencer. We have Dogfights, who will be playing the Underlord. We'll have In July being playing that Bat Rider. We have Outworld Devourer being played by Cicada. And last but not least, we have Paparazzi, who will be playing the Morphling. And then on the Dire side, we have FY, who indeed will be picking up that Leshrac. DD, who will be playing the Shadow Demon once again, and going to be playing that Luna. Mikasa on the mid Razor, and last but not least, we have Yang, who will be playing the Nyx Assassin. I think out of all of the heroes that I'm most interested in, I really want to see some big plays coming out of the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, he definitely will have he's a very good hero to play against Morphling as well, so he will drop. Well, he's going to be one of the more important heroes, actually, if not the most important hero by Vici. That and the rotations, whether they work out or not. We see a 4-man smoke here, though, trying to probe into the Radiant jungle and mayhaps find a kill.
Potentially. I mean, Paparazzi has morphed, of course, mostly into agility, but it looks like he's at tier 2. Yeah, okay. The right away Bat Rider just like, hey, look, they're all in that jungle.
Yeah. Not finding their kill though, I guess. Yeah, getting away a bit.
Yeah, it looks like they might actually potentially... Oh no, they're not going to stay in the jungle. I thought maybe they would just try to secure like the 3 runes.
No, they just planted a very offensive ward, but actually FY running back into the jungle. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So they'll sit there. There will be a Cicada going to be able to pick up one of those runes, but it is going to be 3 runes for the Dire. Vici going to have a little bit of an advantage there.
And IG actually dodges this offensive tri-lane, putting their carry Paparazzi on top lane instead. And yeah, a lot of rotations coming out actually. Sakata going to mid. Super also walking top to babysit their Morphling a little bit.
So in a vacuum, like barring obviously rotations and that sort of thing, face to face, how does a Razor fare up against an OD? Like, does he, like the OD still does quite a bit of pure damage coming out of his orb, does he not? Even with like the stealing with the static link?
Definitely. It used to be considered like a counterpick to OD, or like a hero that is capable of standing on that lane and even winning it, which was kind of rare in the olden golden days. So he still is a remnant from back then, I suppose. But Razor, I think, has been a bit more popular again. Bot lane, meanwhile, a disruption happening.
All right there, following up with the Split Earth. Dogfight going to have to try to walk himself away to safety. And In July having to do the same. Yeah, that disruption into the Split Earth is actually a pretty harsh little combination there.
Yeah, but IG picking their double lane best and fit to survive against it. Kind of usual to like have some kind of strongish partner next to the Batrider to stand against pretty much any tri-lane. Like it's been done for a while now, I suppose. While Yang struggling to get levels on the top lane.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit hard for him, but that being said, I think the Silencer, yeah, he's like at absolutely no mana whatsoever, as he's been pretty much mana stolen as much as he possibly can from that Nyx. Alright, and FY going to make that rotation to the Bounty Rune in the enemy jungle. And that Static Link still just stealing all of that right-click damage out of Cicada, as Cicada is actually maxing the Astral Imprisonment, which is limiting the last hits of the Razor, but Razor is just grabbing so much of his damage.
Yeah.
Oh, that good Split Earth. Is it going to be enough to take out Cicada? No, he will be able to dodge underneath that tier 1. But certainly getting a bit low. It's actually too bad. I think I would have really liked to see the Lightning Storm over the Diabolical Edict. I think that maybe the... Oh, there's the Invisible DDC going to go in, and there's the Split Earth followed up, and we're going to try to get that kill onto Mikasa. There's going to be that Fairy Fire. Is it going to be enough? It will not. Mikasa will end up drawing that first blood. Will he fall to creeps? No.
It will be just fine. And instead of the game before, we see DDC and FY actually managing to pick off a kill very early on, and if they manage to get more than this just first kill of theirs, I think that change will, yeah, it's one of the main differences from what happened before, because they pretty much ran into nothingness most of the time.
Alright, so they're going to use up that Shrine. Good communication as 3 of them use at the top, and we're going to see another rotation potentially, and just farming decently, but probably not really in an optimal position in the off lane.
Yeah, IG stacking that camp as well and denying their creeps a bit. On top of it, Batrider will soon probably be able to Firefly his stack, getting even more farm. I think they might have to rotate the Luna. Yeah, they're doing it right now.
Oh, Paparazzi, there it is, going in. Yang's going to be in position too. There's a Splitter. There's no escape at all for that Morphling.
It's very nice how they timed their gank towards top lane. Basically waiting with the rotation of Luna until Shadow Demon and Leshrac are in range to get a kill in as well, on top of the whole rotation towards farm.
Yeah, and already you see just like the kind of cool and collectedness of IG just being kind of ripped apart by all these really aggressive rotations, far more successful as than the previous game.
Pitlord rotating along with the Luna. DDC being ready for this though. This might be a bit scary for him.
Alright, so Nyx Assassin just kind of using up this bottle, but oh, there's the Pit Lord. He's like kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place as they have vision on him. There's Yang, only just like making his presence known. And there's the disruption, going to be followed up by the spike into the stacking a little stuns, but I don't think it's going to really matter. That's going to be another very dead Pit Lord.
Even pressuring the tower from it a bit.
Yeah, there's the edict. Yeah, that but you're right. The pushing of the tower is actually working out quite nicely for them. We'll force out the glyph very early in the game, 5 minutes.
Yeah, and again they play a bit of a greedy lineup, but instead of a Darkseer they have a Batrider semi-jungling for them. However, it's not as free as before, since they are losing towers and heroes to it.
And Paparazzi sitting at level 4 in comparison to actually Yang, who's like right on the verge of level 5 and has to go face to face with the Nyx. You said that the Nyx is actually like a pretty decent lane counter to the Morphling?
Not on lane, but later on.
Later on in the game? Okay.
Also in general, since Morphling is very reliant on his mana, and Nyx will delete that. And of course you cannot really shotgun the Nyx, but nowadays you don't need to necessarily go for the shotgun either. So it might be a bit different now.
Yeah, I see Yang already just making it a hard time for Paparazzi in that lane.
Getting the treads though, instead, to fight on early. And he's sitting down Yang.
Yang might be in a little trouble. Does have his spiked carapace, and he is going to be able to escape from that waveform. Alright, Dogfight going to pick up a couple creeps there. DDS. Oh, this is not going to be great. There's going to be the disruption into the teleport, extra damage, and Cicada going to get himself stunned, and goodbye OD in that mid lane. That is an excellent pickup.
But Mikasa still dropping dead to Silencer. Should not have used his spell there, his plasma field. making the dot duration longer and thus killing him eventually. Morphling might be in a bit of trouble here if this rotation works out.
Oh, he does see the with that pull. And there's the disruption, extra damage into the stun, followed up by another splitter, and that is another kill for Vici. They are just dominating with these rotations again. I thought that maybe IG would be ready for this.
Razor topping off the farm though, so far, still, as well.
Yeah, I don't think Sakata's had, like, a good right-click the single time Womakasa's been here, but taking quite a bit of harassment from that silencer.
Definitely. Luna rotating bottom again, not standing alone against that pit lord.
Yeah. Well, she does have the level 6 now if they do want to force the issue at this bottom tower.
Yeah, they
And actually, I think that
will.
indeed is going to be the case as we see Mikasa also.
The only question is Paparazzi going to get out of there?
Oh, we are going to see the
TPs
teleport.
are coming in, so they will... Oh, this might be, really bad for IG.
Oh, global
actually.
silence is up. There it is, Mikasa ready to go in. He does end up scouting out both those teleports.
So a lot of teleports coming, and they actually stop their push. Don't try to force the issue. If they would have managed to get a disruption off and maybe kill one before the TPs go through, they might have wanted to take this fight, but they did not.
But now it is leaving the OD potentially open to being picked off if he doesn't play it carefully.
Yeah, TP's being on cooldown, but he's aware of it, I think.
Now Sakata going for the regen rune, and it's going to instantaneously just stop that Razor from stealing all his damage, but that's going to reveal that he's heading back towards that tier 1. Sakata, you're so far forward. DDC is ready with the disruption, and that's the damage amplification splitter. There will be a global silence, but it's not going to be enough as Razor's managed to pop his ultimate just before.
Dropping him dead, and a lot of commitment there because no global, no OD. They will lose their tower as well, I think.
Yeah, and meanwhile, yeah, the tier 1 bottom they are pressuring, so they're going to lose that, but I think they might end up trading it for the mid tower, potentially. Do they have Diabolic?
It seems like it.
Yep, they do.
IG using their situational advantage in their bot lane to plant a deep ward next to the shrine. And they're gathering up to heal up. It's interesting how they're using those shrines to stay in the game instead of having to retreat further back after achieving their objective. And smoking out immediately.
Right, and actually, speaking of that, that is the one shrine that does not have a ward on it. So this could actually be Sakata again going to be picked off. He's stunned. There's no chance to survive in this case. There will be a teleport from the silencer, but DDC coming in close. So scouting him out. He wants to go. There is a ping. And he's all by himself. There's no one there to save him. But are they really going to be able to do anything here?
Doesn't catch him in time. This game very much looks like the first game they played against IG, actually, where they pretty much stomped them. I don't exactly know what the stats were, like 20-5 or something like that.
Yeah, it was an absolute, like, they came in like a wrecking ball. So that's what happened.
Trading more tier 1s, but it's deceiving. Cancelling that TP on top lane.
I'm really actually enjoying this Leshrac, I will say. Like, the combination is working really nicely, and that Diabolic Edict is just ripping through the towers so quickly.
Definitely. Yeah, their rotations were on point this time. And DDC standing alone at that top tier 1 trying to defend and delay that push, but...
looks like he's going to have to offensively use it, but he is rooted down. I don't think he might end up surviving. Oh, there's the Eclipse going in, dogfight, dragging him back, but is it going to be enough? It isn't. Razor's here. He's ripping through every single one of them, and 3 is going to go down. FY making his way away and will end up surviving. They trade an SD for 3 kills. I think that's definitely worth it.
Yeah, it was a very interesting bait there by DDC, actually. Managing to get his disruption off. So, making sure that it's going to be worth his team's time to TP top and get those picks. Meanwhile, Luke's using that vendetta, trying to find someone.
He actually might end up getting Paparazzi, who has pretty much a ton of agi here at the moment. Uses his waveform, so he has no escape either. Oh, yeah. He is going to see him with that sentry that goes in.
On him, but no, he's just fine. even with a stun by Nyx, he would have probably gotten away. However, he's not going for that Dominator build we saw earlier by We Are Young, instead opting for that Lincoln's, probably because of the Nyx, since the mana burn would drop him.
Yeah, I think that's, you're right. That's certainly like a fair choice considering that who he's going up against. Out of interest, what do you think is going to be the next big item coming out on Yang?
I'm not sure actually, we'll see. Like he could go for an Netherlands, he could go for a Blink directly, or something else entirely like Rushing and Eggs.
Yeah, I think I would like to see the Aether Lens, but you are right, the Blink would be a very good choice, certainly from like a positioning standpoint, initiation standpoint. Now, yeah, you're right, we're going to see the Lincolns on Paparazzi. Cicada still kind of struggling for a bit of like a big item coming out on him in July. Let's see how close you are to your Blink Dagger. So you're sitting at 1.8k, so getting closer and closer. And what are we seeing on Super? Not a lot of huge items.
Coming out from that mid lane.
Global Silence is available.
Well, they're going to try to go for Mikasa, because that... Oh, yeah. Jan nearly scouting it out in his Vendetta, but not getting close enough to break the smokes.
There we are. Oh, Mikasa, you're in trouble here. He's going to try to get himself away, but is it really going to be enough? No, it isn't. He's going to be rooted, right-click down, and silenced. And that's going to be a great pick-off. Yang revealing, but not able to really get any kills, but they can't follow it up.
He tried to go for that silencer, dropping him to 1 HP, but not managing to finish him off, sadly.
Yeah, he was so close. But while that's happening, FY and the rest are going to be going for Paparazzi. Is it going to be enough? Using up all of his mana? Is this Luna going to be able to... Okay, Lord, coming in.
Having NTP out, very close to being booted or prisoned there.
Yeah, actually something that I overlooked during the draft is actually Dogfights is going to open up for IG, just the ability to be able to come in to a situation where they need to save their carry, maybe when their teleports are indeed on cooldown, so
yeah,
a little bit of extra mobility, which is nice. Oh, Yang, he's mid. He does see Cicada. And there's the stun, excellent use. And are we going to see a follow-up? No, he's rooted.
Yeah, sadly missing that stun, not being able to.
That was really well played, though. I really liked that, just like that little bit of a movement where now that the Astral Imprisonment does damage, you just see him kind of stand beside it and just use his Spiked Carapace to...
In July, waiting on that top lane, trying to get someone to show that he can possibly kidnap with his newfound Blink.
And I think, will that be the Blink reveal, or did he reveal the Blink at the top?
I'm not sure, actually. No, I don't. Yeah, he didn't have it at the team fight.
There it is, pulling out the lead track. Global Silence, following back, and now FY still not following low enough, really. There's going to be a double stun into the Astral Imprisonment, and there's the Eclipse. It's so much damage, it's not going to be enough. But DDC coming back in, waveform going deep, wants Yang dead, but there will be the disruption, and continuing to use this right click. Will there be enough? She will use the Morph form. And there's the waveform, double kill for Paparazzi. FY maybe wants to try to do something here, but he's so low, he's going to need to dodge into those trees.
Oh, back
and just playing so low. He gets Dogfight, very well done. But it's still going to be quite a few down. 3 for 3, actually, surprisingly.
Yeah, it was quite an even fight, actually.
However, FY did have a dominating streak that he ended up giving away, so I think in the end, overall, it's actually good for IG.
IG did get a little bit more gold and XP as well. However, is Morphling actually gonna die? No, he's no way. No way he's gonna die
but they do have the Sentry Ward already placed down. Paparazzi gives no indication.
No,
oh wait, no, that's the Dire.
Yeah.
Rip.
No waveform now, though. This might actually be kind of scary. But he's waiting.
Come on, Yang. Let's
waiting
see what
for that
happens
Razor
here.
to come over.
So cheeky, come on. There it is, into the stun, and followed up by Mikasa. Going to be start waveforming to the strength, and this is one of the things that I think really needs to be changed on Morphling. It's just
so
morphing
close.
Strength while you're stunned.
So close, so close. Nearly dying. If he had a few more levels in Mana Burn instead of that Carapace, maybe that Morphling would have died. Okay. More drums coming out again. Luna clearing the Ancients. Getting level 11. Soon we'll have another Eclipse. which they may be able to use for a team fight.
Yeah, these eclipses have had a lot of impact in these team fights, as we've seen now. Morphling and Luna are just like...
2 TPs coming out on the top lane. Injula trying to catch Mikasa. Successfully.
Oh, there we are. Pulls him back, but he's fairly tanky. Is it going to be enough, though? No, it will not. He will end up falling.
We have a 4-man smoke. They might get some kind of counter kill here.
Oh no, Sakata being tempted on that bounce rune and instantly out. There will be the global silence, but...
Always a little bit late, not succeeding in saving people so far though.
Yeah, you see Paparazzi pick up a couple of those last hits, maybe being like a teeny bit greedy there, but he's fine.
Underlord using his ult but cancelling it the last second.
It always seems like these trades turn out, they look like they're going to be not so great for IG, and then suddenly it's like an even trade, which I think in this position at the moment is like a good place for them to be, sitting 7-14. And
this was very weird. They just Firefly and used the Piddler thing into thin air instead of defeating that creep wave, so the tower might still get pressured.
Yeah, the Diabolic Edict, of course, ripping through these towers fairly effectively. F-wide, perfectly okay face tanking that just to get that extra damage out.
Yeah,
Yang sitting behind, ready to just keep Super out of the team fight, out Relvin. There's the Bat Rider. He's going to get taken out, potentially. There he is. He's using the Firefly. He's dodging so hard. And there's the Root. Super's on a killing spree. Takes out that Luna. And now Mikasa on the run. Silence down. Remember that Bat Rider continued to survive, but does get taken out. And now Mikasa still kind of zipping around. Can he really do anything against Sakata? He's sitting here, meanwhile, at the top. Mikasa stealing this damage. Is it enough? It isn't. And FY and Underlord still fighting toe-to-toe up at top. What happened there?
A big overextension, actually, by Vici. I don't know if they should have gone for it. They got the tower, but this was not worth it for them, I think.
I feel like if they managed to if they had killed the Bat Rider, would it have been worth it?
No, it's like the thing is the whole situation went awry because their positioning was not really working out for them, since due to being behind their tower they could not actually retreat in a way that would have them stay alive. Meanwhile, an attempt for Roche.
Oh yeah, there is going to be a Roche. Is there an Eclipse available? There's no Eclipse or anything like that, so I don't think there's any way that we can potentially see VC stopping this Roshan attempt. There is a haste though on this Luna. Is she just going to use it to farm, or is she going to go?
Yeah, she will just push out the mid lane a little bit just so the tier 1 tower doesn't get pushed after the Aegis. DDC dropping his disruption, so they have some Luna illusions to get the next creep wave as well. Or just some damage up on the Morphling illusion.
Alright, so Luna is sitting very close to her Mantrasa, which will be the next big item coming out on her.
Yeah, and Morphling going for the CP, like standard Lincoln CP build, I guess.
And Sakata will be sitting on that Aegis as well.
It's not even so far that he's a good answer to Luna, the Morphling that is, compared to the Gyro, who did not work out. It's more that the team fights are going towards Vici's favor so far, and thus giving Morphling a better opportunity to counter Luna as well.
Yeah, he has certainly pulled ahead now in the overall farm game. And he's able to just kind of like, yeah, it looks like he is going to be going for that shotgun build as we see the Ghost Scepter coming out on him.
And they will get this tier 2 uncontested as well.
Yeah.
She's struggling to get some farm or split push up on the map while they push through.
Yeah, is that? Yeah, they still have their mid T1 and their mid T2, so the shrines haven't been removed, so they still have a bit of map control as well.
Did he cancel his ult, or did where did he TP? I didn't realize.
Think he did cancel his ult.
Yeah, maybe the creep died if they use it on a creep.
Oh yeah, that is true.
It's like usually nice, I guess, but the pit dodge you can always get like a second objective if you already have an advantage. They might go finally to get that tier 1 mid now. Vici's gonna have a hard time fighting into this Aegis actually, even with the Eclipse that they have now and the Manta that follows soon from Luna.
At this point, are you kind of forced to respond? Do you have to fight the Aegis, or like?
No, they can like split up and farm, I suppose, but Yeah, it's a bit hard because you get kicked by both Morphling and by the best rider.
I don't think that's going to be the case as we see Yang coming in behind. He's going to get the hit. Double stun coming out. There's Mikasa coming in. The Lincoln Spear into the global silence, but are we going to see anything? Yep, SD goes down. Nyx is also going to go down. And meanwhile, FY doing his best. Very little mana on Mikasa, but getting kidnapped back into the fray. They want this Luna dead, and that's exactly what they're going to have done. And now it's going to be Mikasa rooted underneath this tier 1 tower. FY doing his best to save his friend's life and hits on 3, but it's just not enough. And now this T1 is going to end up falling, and now there's a 5-man front moving in on this tier 2 tower of VG.
Yeah, GG immediately called. Don't even try to stay in the game because they feel it's lost. The thing is, Luna didn't even use her Eclipse in this fight because, yeah, I guess it wasn't, yeah, the positioning was horrible. They were struggling a lot.
I think certainly a lot of the expectations are being broken here with IG Vitality up against Vici. I think Vici was the favorite for winning this particular, winning this series of games, at least for me. I felt like Vici were probably going to be able to. Yeah, I felt like Vici were probably going to go 3. Oh.
Okay.
比上一局要好很多，而且这一局是把这个米拉娜换成了一个 TS 啊，在这个点位上，其实刚刚也跟木木在聊，就感觉这个4号位选择可能 TS 是要优于 POM 很多。
我前半段还在跟他说，我说你看看 VG 这盘要赢了，对吧？我说 VG 这一手把 TS
阵容上面，
对 POM 换成 TS 的前期基本上是2个人走到哪死到哪，然后对中期的这个照顾也很多。
对，其实打到中期团发现。就是这个孽主选的还是比较有效果的啊，看得出来上路那一波夜眼上路1塔附近的一波团战，其实双方打了个5-5开啊，就是在这个阶段，按道理来说，一边有黑鸟和水人的情况下，对面是如此强悍的一个阵容，理论上无论如何应该是一个毫无疑问是 VG 应该赢下这波团。这一波其实也是为之后的这个 VG 势力埋下了一个伏笔。紧接着在这个上路天辉坊2塔附近的一波团战是被这个 IG.V 打了一波1换4，最后是蝙蝠换掉对方4个人，然后。其实这波团打完，应该说这局比赛对于 VG 来说已经很危险了。IG.V 顺势又打了个盾，紧接着刚刚就是这波团，就是我们刚刚结束之前的这波团。
2波团打完之后，人家又是一个黑鸟加上
对黑鸟加水人，
水人的这种后期就没法打了。
是的，确实看得出来孽主在这一盘里面的发挥，不管是团战里制造出的伤害量，还是他的这个光环起到的一个效果，还是非常可观的。本来是电魂加露娜是一个很强势的前期打架阵容，配合露娜的光环，但是孽主光环的存在也是把他的这个光环一部分给抵消掉，相当于。
对，是，对，我觉得现在来看的话，因为是 BO5的一个战局，那么对于 VG 来讲的话就非常棘手了，因为现在 IG.V 这边已经是2-0领先了。那么相信在这段时间呢，我们的教练应该又要发话了，给教练一点时间，也给我们的队员们一点调整和休息的时间。我们共同期待双方的第3场对决。稍事休息，待会儿再见。
感谢我们的选手带来的精彩的比赛呢。为了我们感谢现场的观众呢，下面要进入我们的有奖互动环节。我们将在现场免费的抽取5位幸运观众，送上我们的精美奖品。
没错。那么在这里呢，我们要感谢对本环节礼品提供的狼派。那么首先让我们有请出3位工作人员呈上今天的颁奖箱和礼品。
有请。
好的，那么现在大家可以看到李毅手中拿的这款呢，就是非常精美，我们狼派的键盘，大家可以在我们两侧的彩幕上也可以看到本环节马上要送出的礼品。那么现在究竟哪5位幸运的观众可以把这个礼品带回家？来，今天还是猛然来抽取5名幸运的观众，好不好？好，现在是3个，我来念，第1位是14424。第2位是03765，第3位是05071，第4位是12398，最后一位是01292。好了，再次恭喜以上的5位幸运观众。那么同时也感谢我们3位工作人员，请台下稍作休息。
感谢我们的战略合作伙伴第6代英特尔智能酷睿 i7 处理器最强核心打造极致游戏体验。好的，下面继续我们的 DOTA2 的比赛，请我们的选手稍事准备，一段广告之后回来继续开始比赛。
让我们一起期待。
站在最好的赛场上，让更多人为你欢呼。这是全部吗？不，你还拥有无限可能。
重塑对极限的认知。Alienware Area 51采用英特尔酷睿 i7 处理器。
Metal aesthetics. Floating keycap. Change it yourself. T-Move.
Co.Ltd的电竞新品首发，专为游戏竞技定制，冠军战队专属选择，龙珠女子战队倾城代言，专业电竞显示器爱干爱攻，顶级战场等你来战。
强者并非与生俱来，而是源自强大的内心，是充满力量的心，是专注的心。它可以把控一切，同时不失细节。这颗心让强者卓然超群，打破限制，撼动世界。要知道，磨练可以造就强者，而英特尔酷睿 i7 处理器更让强者势不可挡。
这
来看镜头，
无关身份，无关性别，无关分数高低，无关内敛还是耀眼，无关体重，无关收入多少，无关命运 选择、前途、希望，这只关系到每一次当你准备战斗，等待最后的读秒。你是谁？
别给我说要低调，我根本听不到。想跟我讲什么战术走位，你最好先追上我。
盲狙、甩狙除了反应，还需要天赋。
感觉来了，枪枪都是黄金爆头。
节奏加距离，我用刀可以飘翻全场。
在我的世界里，
做不了最好的，
就做最屌的。
穿越火线，不服来战，
站在最好的赛场上，让更多人为你欢呼。这是全部吗？不，你还拥有无限可能。
52 vs 52超大规模机甲战争，机动战士敢达 OL 最新资料片上线，不同阵容的势力对抗，带你体验有史以来最大规模国战。最强 ZZ 敢达降临，快来感受最强敢达机师的魅力和荣耀。戴尔游侠7000笔记本专为年轻群体设计，炫酷外形，性能强悍。了解更多优惠，请关注游侠7000官方微店。傲风之刃电竞外观专利，纳米级透气靠背，180度后躺，4D 扶手 ，Auto Full 傲风，电竞选手爱用的电竞椅。制胜之道，长指之间，狼派电竞装备。
T-Move。
专业电竞品牌 iGO 爱公为 WCA 2016官方唯一指定显示器品牌，爱公为荣耀而战。极客极致极酷，西伯利亚专业电竞游戏耳机，带你来一场身临其境的战斗。
All right, well, welcome back, everyone, to the WCA 2016 Grand Finals. We have had an amazing 2 games of Dota between VC Gaming and IG Vitality. Have been a lot of really great rotations, a ton of frags, and now we are going into game number 3, and this could potentially be the deciding factor about who walks away with the grand prize here at the WCA 2016. So VC Gaming are now currently 2 games behind, IG Vitality holding that advantage. What do you think we're going to see coming out of VC Gaming? Are we going to see maybe some sort of pocket strategy, or are we going to just kind of see the same thing as before and hopefully it works?
Well, they will definitely go for the same thing as before, I think. That being said, they might go for some kind of Rubik Punch still, because it's kind of the same thing as before. They need FY to rotate and do stuff, but more successfully. It kind of looked like it would work out for them in the second game, actually. It's just eventually it started turning around, and the global silence and the morphling started kicking in, and they could not win the teamfights anymore after already having some pickoffs and stuff like that. Like, they were crumbling when at first I was actually fairly confident in my belief that they would win it.
But it's certainly been as Vitality has just been destroying all expectations of them. Just their previous performance in the group stage just did not reflect this level of play now that they're on the big stage. And maybe it's like part of like this pressure, you know, some people really respond very well to like this kind of high stakes environment, and maybe that's what's happening with IG Vitality. I'm not 100% sure, but that just seems what it is. They've just kind of pulled the A game out of the hat, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So we're going to start jumping into the draft here. IG Vitality, first things first, they are going to ban out that drow, which will remove Vichi's gaming, kind of a little pocket strategy of picking up that drow with the Wind Ranger and that sort of thing. I imagine we're probably going to see the same thing out of Vici, like the banning of like the Riki and the Bounty Hunter potentially.
Yeah, I think they might ban Silencer as well, but I don't know, we'll see.
I think the Silencer ban would be a really good...
Even Luna, like, the thing is so far, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, they've been letting the Luna... Okay, it's going to be the Bat Rider. A lot of the games they've let the Luna through the draft, but she seems super, super popular.
Yeah, but they ended up losing with her though, so it's going to be weird. Like, IG, usually you first pick the Bat and the Nix or a Bat and something else, Bat Shen, stuff like that. So I guess it's a more sensible response, and they didn't try to actually adapt that much, but the first pick is Luna first pick again.
All right, yep, that good old Luna first pick. Nothing too surprising here. I was kind of hoping that we'd see Luna be banned out. I'm kind of, as much as I love the Moon Princess herself, I'm not really too thrilled to see her being played again. But I'm sure we will see a lot of really great team fight potential coming out of Vitality now. Since we saw the Silencer working fairly well, like just like counter-initiating with these team fights coming from the Luna, do you think that it would be kind of incentivized for Vici to pick up a Silencer?
I don't know if they're comfortable playing that hero. I know that IG picked it all the time, but I think Vici will not go for it.
Alright, we are going to see the Slaughter picked up, and every single time we've seen Vici pick up the Slaughter, it's, you know, that fast blink, and the stun coming out of the Slaughter always ends up being just like hitting on like 3 people or something ridiculous.
I like this actually a lot. It might be FY playing the Slaughter and just roaming around as he did before, and
yeah.
Rubik on DTC is a very nice hero to play against Luna as well, because you can pretty much guaranteed steal her ult, and that's a great impact thing, while at the same time having the aura against her damage.
Alright, so Vitality are going to pick themselves up that Riki, since it was not banned out in the first phase. And Vici, are we going to see the Pudge maybe picked up along with that Rubik? We did see that combination
I don't think so, but I don't know, maybe I'm going to be surprised. Pudge is a hero that is kind of nice to play against Riki as well. But I think FY will play Starda instead, so they might go for it.
Yeah, so it will be... looks like we have Vici are going to ban out the Dark Seer. And
yeah, they don't want to deal with this double shenanigans stuff again.
Alright, and you can see the